So hello and welcome. Today we are discussing standard 1230. 1230 is about continuing professional development. This is the last standard and third standard of the series 1200. We have already discussed 1210, which is about proficiency, and 1220, which is due professional care. So this will complete not only the series 1200 but also will complete our attribute standards. So let's start with asking some interesting questions from ourselves. How to create a professional development plan? What chief audit executive should do if a client survey reveals a concern about an internal auditor's business acumen? How internal auditors may ensure to keep their knowledge current on a day-to-day basis? Who should establish training and development policy for internal auditors? So let's discuss this standard and get answers to all these questions. So the basic requirement of the standard 1230 is that the internal auditors must enhance their skills, competencies and knowledge through continuing professional development. So to enhance internal auditors' competencies and their professional development, the internal auditors may want to reflect on their job requirement and including the training policies and the professional education requirements related to their profession, the industry they are working in, related to the organizational requirement and any certifications or the areas of specialization which they are carrying or they are planning to have as per their job requirement. So internal auditor may consider feedback from their performance evaluations or also the results of the client surveys or assessment results may also help in understanding what is the requirement to improve for the internal auditor or as an individual internal auditor or as a team. Also the conformance with reference to the mandatory guidance of the International Professional Practices Framework can be seen by the results of self-assessments and also based on the IIA's global internal audit competency framework or a similar benchmark, which is if company is having an internal benchmark for that. Also the career goals may help in understanding the long-term requirements for the internal auditor and they can plan as per their personal development what areas to cover for their continuing professional development. So let's understand how to create a professional development plan. An individual internal auditor may use self-assessment tool such as competency framework as a basis for creating a professional development plan. Professional development plan may encompass the on-job training, coaching, mentoring, internal or external trainings, volunteer or certification opportunities, or any other relevant thing. The chief audit executive and internal auditor discuss the professional development plan, and they need to understand and they need to agree to use it as the basis for developing measures of the internal auditor's performance like the KPIs. and these KPIs can be incorporated into the supervisory reviews, client surveys, and annual performance reviews and evaluations. The results of the reviews can help the Chief Audit Executive and the internal auditor prioritize the area of continuing professional development. We all aware of what are the opportunities of professional development, but let's have a listing of that. This includes participation in conferences, seminars, training programs, online courses, webinars, self-study courses, conducting research projects, volunteering with the professional organizations, and pursuing professional certifications like the Certified Internal Auditor, industry related CPDs if required. So and CPD related to a specialization, for example data analytics, financial services, information technology, taxation laws, or system design, or any other relevant area. It is also possible that the client surveys reveal a concern about the internal auditor's business acumen. And this happens normally in the audit practice when internal auditors visit any department, for example, procurement department. The procurement may come up with their concerns about the understanding of the procurement business with reference to the industry, and they advise the Chief Audit Executive, or they may advise the Chief Audit Executive through the surveys that these areas should be improved. And all these feedback should be considered very seriously. The Chief Audit Executive and internal auditors can work together on this. They can address these concerns by participating in various training opportunities they may have within the organization or outside the organization. And to ensure that the internal auditors have the opportunity to enhance their knowledge, skills, and other competencies, the Chief Audit Executive may establish the training and development policy that supports the CPD. Such a policy may specify a minimum number of training hours for each auditor, such as 40 hours, which is consistent with many of the professional certifications requirements. The Chief Audit Executive may consider using benchmarking to assess the current and emerging needs of the profession, as well as the specific trends within the industry or the specialized areas. To ensure their internal audit knowledge stays current on a day-to-day basis, the internal auditors may seek guidance from the IIA regarding standards, best practices, procedures, and techniques that could affect the internal audit profession or their organization also, and the specific industry in which they are working in. This may involve the maintaining of current membership in the IIA and other professional organizations, networking at the local events, and monitoring or subscribing to the feeds or notification services related to the internal audit profession, as well as the industry specific news and the periodicals, which may help as well. So let's have a look at how the conformance can be demonstrated with the standard 1230. The internal auditors may demonstrate conformance with this standard by retaining documentation or other evidence of any of the following: self-assessments against a competency framework or benchmark, professional development and training plans, memberships and participation in professional organizations, subscriptions to sources of professional information, completed training, example continuing education credits, certifications or certificates of completions. To enhance proficiency, how the enhanced proficiency is achieved is through the on-job training and maybe in-house training and is likely to be noted in performance evaluations, which may also track opportunities for future professional development. Performance metrics may reflect supervisory or peer observations of new skills and enhanced capabilities. This I have seen in many internal audit departments, that the peer review is conducted and some hours are given, and these peer reviews are always helpful for the internal auditor in development. Internal audit policies, training schedule, and internal audit staff surveys may evidence that opportunities for CPD were provided by the chief audit executive. So this will complete the requirement of to demonstrate how the internal audit department and internal audit activity is demonstrating conformance with the standard 1213, and this all these documents should be retained for all the external assessments and internal assessments to provide as a proof of conformance. So thank you so much for staying in, and hope this standard has added to your knowledge base little bit. We have got the answers to our questions, even though CPD is very well known topic in the fraternity, and most of the people understand what CPD is, but in this video we have understood it in the specific requirement of the IIA standard and what is the requirement, how we can demonstrate the conformance as well. So please keep liking my video, subscribe my channel, and also share it with your friends so they can also get benefit from these videos. Thank you so much.